Hey, everybody, John Granato from The Bench, mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, and that's AJ Hoffman. He is on The Blitz. That's afternoons on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe right now so you get all of our SportsMap HOU content. Hey, this week, multiple sources reported that both Daryl Morey and Tad Brown are continuing to get paid by the Rockets, even after the resignations, even with signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. It was a condition of Les Alexander. Both men stepped down only a couple of years later. I'm surprised it took that long. I would have quit right away so I could get another job and get double pay. Do you think Tilman Fertitta, I can't believe that he negotiated this deal when this is a businessman that's made billions of dollars, AJ. Why would he sign that deal?
I don't know. It is odd. And maybe when you're doing $2 billion deals, 10, 20 million here and there, it doesn't seem like that much. Even the richest guys, though, 10, 20 million, it ain't nothing. It is very odd to me. I think that Tilman probably feels foolish right now. He's probably got a little bit of egg on his face because he's the guy who's got the TV show. He's Mr. Business. He's the big negotiator, and he looks silly here. I don't know how you let that happen, and maybe it's a matter of Les just kind of saying, I'm going to stick it to him a little bit on my way out the door. I'm not really sure what it is. And if I'm not mistaken, Tilman borrowed some money from Les to even make this purchase happen. So he's still paying that off. He's still paying off. He's still paying off Tad. He's still paying off Daryl. There's a whole lot of egg. There's an omelet on the face of Tilman Fertitta right now, especially given where the franchise sits currently.
Well, here's the deal. It was a seller's market because Tilman wanted this so bad. He wants to own a team. You're the face of the franchise. It helps business. I've talked to other owners. Drayton McClain told me, a lot of people pick up the phone. They didn't pick up the phone for Drayton McClain Trucking. They picked up the phone for Drayton McClain, Astros owner. Same with the McNairs. It helps business. I get that. $2.2 billion worth. Now that's another story. But I can't believe that Les Alexander would have held a gun to his head. We're not doing this deal unless Daryl Morey gets paid by you and whatever team he joins to. I mean, it makes very, very little sense. But does it make more sense now in picking Rafael Stone? Because Rafael Stone, he knew that he was going to have to keep on paying Daryl, so Rafael Stone was already here, already getting paid. Come on, Rafael Stone, you take the job.
It does make some sense because otherwise you're paying two GMs. And so, who knows how Rafael Stone's going to end up doing. I think the upcoming draft is going to tell a lot about how he does, but it's almost it's a low risk, certainly. You're not paying a guy to come in and totally reset this thing. Once Daryl's off the books, maybe now we bring in a real guy and really start to go at this thing. But the Rockets are kind of in the same boat as the Texans. They're so buried right now that it's going to take a while for them to dig out. So having guys who aren't listed as interim guys but are here for the short term on the cheap makes some sense to me.
Yeah, well, hiring Chris Wallace now, that makes a little bit more sense too, to help Rafael Stone through this process. He's been through it. He's drafted high picks, so and Chris Wallace probably came a lot cheaper than a lot of guys would have, than up-and-coming guys would have, because Chris Wallace was probably looking for work. Matt Bullard is a guy who's been in the organization. That makes sense. They probably, after firing him, or not renewing him anyway, probably got him on the cheap. I can't really... after finding out that he's still paying Daryl and Tad, I really can't blame him for not wanting to hire a big name, big money guy, because that's just double the money. But how does it look? We know there's tampering going on all the time. We see it all the time. But Philadelphia getting both of those guys, and, Tad came along after Daryl was already there, and not long after, he's got a job with the Phillies, with the 76ers organization. It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. But it's also a situation of you've got to prove it for it to have really happened. And I'm sure those guys were very careful about how they did their tampering. It's odd that, I don't know how far the rules go with tampering. I don't know if Tad Brown falls under that. Certainly Daryl Morey would. But I don't know if a guy who works on the sort of business side of the thing is under the same umbrella that players and coaches and GMs would fall under. But either way, it seems they've found a way around it. And again, it's just another egg added to the face of Tilman Fertitta here if they were able to pull this off.
Do you think he's got a full omelet?
A full omelet. Colorado omelet.
A Colorado with everything,
Onions
with the green
and peppers and sausage. Oh, it's a disaster.
All over the face.
Oh.